Hey guys, welcome back in this new video about my Samoan experience. If you haven't watched the first and the second episode, you missed how I ended up sleeping on the floor, what do they sell in Samoan supermarkets. However, if you want to have an overview about Samoan culture, food, hospitality, check them out. Today I will try to give you my best tips and my best itinerary for planning your trip to Samoa. Samoa is composed by two main islands, with Upolu, the most populated one, and where Apia, the capital city, sits. Upolu is also where you will land. Once you landed, you have to settle some things like the SIM card and changing the money. With the SIM card, I went with Digicel, which is the most important phone provider along with Vodafone. Vodafone happened to be the most reliable one, but I never had any problem with Digicel, and I paid 30 tala for 7 days with 15 gigabytes. You have to reach the city center. Transport, so let's talk about transport in Samoa. From the airport, you can reach the city center in two ways, with the taxis and with the bus. Keep in mind that buses in Samoa are not reliable. I spent 8 days in the country and I have never been able to catch a single bus. This is because they show up when they feel like. So it is very hard to take the bus in Samoa, even though it's quite cheap, as they told me. Taxis is the most used transport also by Samoans. However, from the airport to the Apia, the capital city, a fair price should be around 50-60 tala, no more. I've been asked for 90, so they will try to take some more money, of course, out of you. Negotiating is the way. The fastest and most easy way is renting a car. Most of the time you will end renting a car from a private. The price is usually 100 tala per day. I visited Samoa just by hitchhiking. Luckily it is not raining. And I reckon it is one of the easiest country to do so, because people are super kind, they are super willing to help you out. Even though I was not hitchhiking, sometimes it happened that I was just sitting on a road having a papaya or just chilling, and they stopped and then asked where I was headed to, and they took me wherever I stayed. So they're really helpful. They want to help you out because they feel like tourism might need some help. It is also super small and there are just main roads, so it is very difficult to get lost or don't know where you're going. Hitchhiking is also a super nice way to get in contact with locals. You can share stories, they will try to show their culture. Accommodation in Samoa are quite expensive. Expect not to pay less than 140 tala per night for a couple. The cheapest accommodation I found was Olivia's accommodation and was in Apia city center. In Samoa, it is very common the beach valley, which is a kind of a wood-made accommodation along the beach where they give you dinner and breakfast. They are located all around the islands. We'll definitely get in contact with one of them. Booking is never required. Most of the time you just show up in the beach valley and they will have room for you. Not pay less than 90 tala. An important thing that I didn't know, Wi-Fi, restaurant, cafe, and most of the hotels do not have Wi-Fi. If you want to have Wi-Fi, you must go to a bougie 5-star hotel. Sunday in Samoa is a very important day for Samoans. Since they are really religious, for them is the relax and chilling day. Every activity is shut, but for some supermarkets and some shops during the morning. Then they all go to church and have a huge lunch called umu. You won't find anyone or anything open. Taxis might be present. It can get very difficult to get around and see things in Sunday. I also want to give you some tips about what to see. You will see a map in every hotel, in every accommodation. They will show you this mapping where there is written all the must-see attraction along the island. However, there are some that I would have easily skipped because most of the time the attraction require payment, which can be 10, 20, 30 tala according to what the people choose, because they are usually run by the families that lives nearby, as well as all the beaches. So, which attraction should you visit? My picks is 4 attractions in Upolu and 1 attraction in Savai'i. Although all Savai'i is really beautiful and requires a bit of time, especially to drive around, since it's very huge. In Upolu, I highly recommend to visit Tosua Trench, which is the most iconic place in Samoa. It requires a 20 tala payment, but the structure is well kept, is clean, there is a supermarket, there are showers, there are toilets. So make sure you go to Tosua either early in the morning or late in the afternoon, because there'll be a lot of tourists. Another attraction that I highly recommend to visit is the Lava Coastal Walk, which is close by to the Tosua, so you can visit them in the same day. You will end up walking in these cliffs with all the ocean releasing his strength with magnificent waves. And most importantly, is free. So this is the only attraction that doesn't require payment. Another attraction that is close by the Coastal Walk and Tosua is Fuipisia Waterfall. This is not even present in the map they will give you. You will end up in this beautiful location with this immense waterfall and all this lush forest all around it. So make sure you visit Fuipisia Waterfall, and it's 10 tala payment, I think. The last one I recommend to visit in Upolu is Salamumu Beach. I end up super randomly in this beach because I was just sitting on the road having my papaya, and two women stopped asking me where I was headed to. I just say I would like to have a bath and going to the beach because it's very hot, and they took me to this place. I did not pay to enter in the beach because I was with them. Although I reckon it requires a 10 tala payment. I'm not sure about that, but the beach is really beautiful. So make sure you end up visiting Salamumu Beach. Let's switch island and let's talk about Savai'i. It's a huge island, it's bigger than Upolu, and it requires a bit of time to visit. There are everyday ferries leaving Upolu to Savai'i and vice versa. They are every 2 hours, starting from 6 a.m. So 6, 8, 10, 12 to 4. The last one that leaves both Upolu and Savai'i leaves at 4 p.m. The ticket costs 12 tala per person, and if you want to bring your car, it is 90 tala, with one person included in the ticket. I met some guys, they rented a car. We all decided to go to Savai'i together to share the price of the ticket. So we visit Savai'i just in one day. We drove all around the island. I would like to highlight that we left Upolu at 6 a.m. with the first ferry, and it took us around 5 hours to drive all around and dedicating a bit of time to the attraction. So we came back with the 4 p.m. ferry. However, I highly suggest to give Savai'i at least 2 or 3 days. The ferry should require a booking. We didn't book, we have been lucky. Most important attraction you want to see in Savai'i is the Alofaga blowhole. This was definitely the highlight of my trip to Samoa, as is the thing that I will never forget. Another attraction that we saw was Lava Church Buried. Although it requires a 20 tala payment, is a things that should be seen, but honestly I wouldn't pay that much for that. If you are there and if you happen to see, better, but I don't want to go there just for that. This is all the information that I reckon you should have for planning your trip to Samoa. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. In case, I will write down in the description. If you have any question, if you have some doubts, feel free to message me on Instagram, TikTok, or to write down a comment below. Just let me know what you think about Samoa. Did you visit? Are you planning to visit? I love Samoans. I had a great time with Samoans. I love the culture, the food, everything. So I'm sure you will have a great time. Let's keep in touch because I am currently in Sri Lanka. This is the sea. In the next weeks, there will be some nice content coming out. Bye. Ciao.